Hey guys, this is the Transparent Uber here, and this is going to be a video that is going to be dedicated to teaching Uber drivers and also anybody who is interested in driving for Uber the nuts and bolts about how to compare the standard mileage deduction with the actualized mileage deduction that you would be claiming on your taxes. Now, how to calculate the actualized cost per mile? I don't know. How do you do that? IRS gives you 54 cents. It's actually 50, it just changes between like 52 to 54 cents for the standard deduction. But is this actually what it costs to operate your vehicle? Most likely, no. And we're going to get into that right now. Now, if I didn't already say it, I am the Transparent Uber, and this is a channel that is going to be dedicated to debunking Uber propaganda and increasing the earnings for Uber drivers and teaching them more about the profession that they are choosing, whether it's part-time or full-time. So some of the costs of owning a car for Uber is the depreciation, the fuel costs, the insurance costs, you have repair costs, you also have, tires. I'll just throw tires in there as well for whatever. You have oil changes, you also have car washes. Oh, yes, okay, so actually, we're going to add in taxes, tags, title, fees as well. Okay, so we're going to go over a few of the easier ones first, just to get them out of the way. Car washes. For UberX, you may want to just clean it yourself every week or so if you're able to. If not, I live in an apartment complex. They probably don't want me cleaning the car like in the parking lot. So maybe every week I'll get a car wash. If we drive, let's say 75,000 miles a year, that's equivalent to about 6,000 miles a month. And if you want to be really on top of your oil changes and do them every 3,000 miles, that'll be about, let's say, $50 a month in oil changes, give or take. Now, it would be fair to say that a good, decent set of tires that lasts about, 45 to 60,000 miles is going to, you may go through 2 sets of tires before your car needs to be retired. And so, let's say 350 times 2 equals 700. And we're going to divide that by 18 months. I'm going to explain why I'm taking 18 months in a second here. So 700 divided by 18 comes out to about 38.8 or 39. We're just going to round it up to $40. Taxes, titles, and fees. That's going to depend on how much you're paying for your car. Now, if you're smart about this, you're going to be taking a Prius. That is the best car for Uber driving, and you can do your own research as to why that is. I don't want to get into that too much at this time, except to say that the miles per gallon just crushes most other vehicles. And also, it's a Toyota, so you're not going to be spending a lot in repairs, and also the car holds its value pretty well. It's all around a terrific car. We'll even just say it's just, we'll go for $1,000. That's probably actually a little bit too high. We'll go for $800. Repair costs. Now, this is everything actually that is not including tires, oil changes, and things like that. So if I just wanted to say worst case scenario, let's just say that you're extremely unlucky, and like your automatic transmission fails, and also you have some electrical problems or something like that. We'll just say $3,000 divided by 18. Okay, so 3,000 divided by 18 is 166, so we'll go for $165 just to keep the numbers pretty simple. Insurance, I think, $400 a month for like full coverage, ride share insurance would be pretty reasonable. And now this is where we're going to have to do a little bit of math, okay? So the car that I'm using is a 2010 Toyota Prius. As you can see here, it shows that it's a 51 city, 48 highway. So the average of these two is going to be around 48 to 52. Now, if you do the research in the forums, some drivers suggest that they get to 45. I currently myself have it at 43 just because I have a heavy foot when I don't have a rider in the car. And I'm probably at the very low end of the range here. So if I'm at the lowest at 43 and 50, 51 is possible, we'll just say 45 miles per gallon. So what this also means is that if you're driving 75,000 miles for the year and your car gets 45 miles per gallon, a very, very simple way to calculate this is it's going to be 75,000 divided by 45. Okay, very simple. What that means is that after you drive 75,000 miles, you're basically using 1,666 gallons of gas over that time period. Okay? 45 miles per gallon, 75,000 miles for the year, 1,666 gallons. Now, you take the 1,066 gallons of gas, you multiply it by the price per gallon of what gas costs nowadays. The national average is about $2.60. Okay, so where I am, it's about $2.80. But some areas of the country you can probably do it for a little bit cheaper. But overall, it's going to be about $4,330 for the entire year in gas. And now what you have to do to calculate your monthly amount is to divide it by 12. Okay, so we're dividing it by 12, and that equals $360 a month in gasoline for the Toyota Prius. Okay, it's really quite a remarkable car. Now the depreciation is actually much, much easier. And now just follow along. So basically what we have is we have the initial cost of the car, which is X. So let's just say it's 10.9. I'm going to use what my numbers are for my car, and it's about $9,000, okay? And I got the car at 83,000 miles to begin. I'm going to retire the car most likely around 200,000 miles, which means that I need to go 117,000 more miles to go before the car is no bueno. Okay? But it's not that I'm actually paying $9,000, because you have to remember that you're going to get a resale value once you retire the car. It's not going to be worth $0. It's going to be worth something. Okay? Now, what we can do is we can just make it as $2,000 to start, but we're going to check this online with the Kelley Blue Book value, okay? So let's just say overall we're investing $7,000 into the car. Now, the reason that we got the 18, dividing things by 18, dividing by 18 months, is because in order to go from 83,000 miles to 200,000 miles, again, it takes 117,000 more miles to go. And if we're driving 75,000 miles in a year, or about 6,000 miles a month, what we're actually doing is taking 117,000 and dividing it by 6,000 a month, which actually comes out to 20 months. But I'm going to be kind of lowballing these numbers, like making them a little bit worse than they actually are, just, you know, for, you know, errors and, you know, whatever you would call that stuff. So it's either 18 to 20 months. You know, there is a range, like a high and low range of these numbers at the end of the day. So if we take 7,000 and divide it by 18 months, as we did for everything else, you'll notice that what it basically means is that the car itself comes out to $390 per month in actual expenses. Now, that's assuming that you have a 0% interest, which almost nobody has, or you just buy the car out, you know, with cash at the dealership. So the $390 we can make reasonably a $500 a month. It's not $500 a month payment. That's just basically what it actually costs, the depreciation of the car per month over an 18-month period until the time comes that we have to retire the car. Okay, I hope that everybody is following this so far. If you have any questions, please feel free to put them in the comments section. Now, if we're going to total all of these monthly payments, we're just going to add the 500 plus the 360 plus the 400, etc. Okay, so I did the math already. We're adding 500 plus 360 plus 400 plus 165. We're just basically adding all of the monthly fees that we got in this area here. Okay, so what that does is it gives us a number of $1,600 per month actualized. Now, in order to figure out what it costs per mile, what we're doing is we're taking the $1,600 per month, we're multiplying it by 18 months, which gives us $28,800. Okay, now it's gonna take another 117,000 miles more to go before the car is retired. So what we're doing is we're taking only the miles that we're driving the car. So if we get the car and it starts at 83,000 miles, you're only taking the amount that it needs to go to get to the 200,000. So it's 117,000 divided by $28,800. So the ratio of this is, remember that this is miles and this is money. So what we have is 4 miles per $1. Okay, you see how we're doing that? We're dividing miles by dollars. So it's $4 miles per $1, which means that each mile costs 25 cents because we're taking the inverse of this right here. So basically 1 divided by 4 is 0.25. So what this means is that the actualized amount is 25 cents per mile, not the 54 cents per mile that the IRS, well, they allow you to take. Okay, now the repair costs may seem a little bit high. You may be able to get a better deal on insurance. Maybe your tires don't cost $350, maybe they cost, you know, $250 or something like that. Maybe you don't do oil changes every 3,000 miles, but maybe every 6,000 miles, and maybe you wash your own car. You know, all of these numbers can be manipulated ever so slightly to make this 25 cents higher or lower. The other thing is that if you get a car, like my Prius was actually like 8,000. It's 9,000 total, so actually it was like the cost of the car plus the tags and all that was 9,000. I also included the tags and title fee again for $800, so you know we could probably take out the $50 for my specific situation, and I mean that could get down to 20 cents per mile, maybe 22 cents per mile. But this is nowhere even close to the 54 cents per mile that the IRS allows you to take. So whenever you see a video that goes over, you know, taking whatever your profit is and then, you know, multiplying it by 54 cents, that's extremely unrealistic. It's very misinformative. It's very bad information because actually not everybody goes through this. So basically the lesson that we have learned are the following. In order to increase profit and earnings, is that you want to finance a car that has already been depreciated. That is extremely important. So the depreciation, as you can see, is the highest cost of the car. If you finance a new car for, let's say, $20,000, that basically makes this $500 into $1,000, which also makes this 25 cents a mile. You know, it'll probably, gosh, I mean, it'll shoot up a lot. It'll go to like 33, 34 cents, maybe something like that. If your car is getting, let's say, 32 miles per gallon, or even, let's say, 23 miles per gallon, if you're driving like a truck or like a V6 or something like that, then your cost per month for gas is going to be around, you know, $700, maybe like $600, and that'll make it go up even further to, let's say, 38, 39, 40 cents per mile. Your insurance may be higher, you might be putting more into repairs, your tires might cost more, etc. So that's how you can get to the 54 cents that the IRS allows you. You can get to the 54 cents, but you're going to have a car that is like a new car. You're going to have bad miles per gallon and things like that. So you want to finance a car that has already been depreciated. You want a car that gives you the best miles per gallon on the market, which are hybrids, okay? Hybrids are the key to maximizing your profits and earnings. Everything else, everything below the depreciation and fuel costs are probably going to be pretty similar between different types of cars, except for the repair costs. Some cars are very reliable and some cars are not, which is actually why $3,000 is a very high number, I personally think, for a Toyota Prius. Okay, so this shows a used 2010 Toyota Prius, trim level 3. Buying from a dealer, fair market range is $8,500 to $10,600. I got mine for $8,000. Okay, I just shopped around. I found a really good deal on it. Fair purchase price $9,600. You know, this may be including taxes and titles and things like that. But as you saw, I put mine down as $9,000. So there's no trickery here. There's no magic. I'm not trying to deceive anybody. My numbers fall perfectly within the range that the Kelley Blue Book value provides right here. And it shows here typical mileage, 100,000 miles, okay? So all we have to do is change that number to 200,000 miles. We're gonna rerun the numbers. And as you see now, the fair market value, well, if we're going to be selling it for sellers. So if we're going to be selling it, we'll go through the trim again, level 3, let's say. Next, we're going to say that the car, we're going to edit that. Standard equipment, yeah, why not? I have a red one. Let's say it's going to be in good condition because, you know, we're going to be Uber drivers. A lot of people are going to be getting in and out of the car. We'll say it's good condition. It's going to update everything here. You know, just to show you that my numbers are not, you know, that crazy. And now this is not entirely accurate. Give me 1 second. Okay, so I went back to the home page and now it's allowing me to put in the mileage here. Go into next. It's a level 3. Go to next. This is very, very simple stuff here, guys. I mean, It's extremely simple to figure out what this is. It's calculating the Blue Book value for a 200,000 mile Toyota Prius for 2010. So yeah, the range is 2,200 to 3,800. The average trade-in value is 3,000. That's what it's showing for a 200,000 mile Toyota Prius around my year. And I remember that in 2 years, it's not going to be like the same as it is now. It's going to be 2020, the year, and maybe our condition is going to be pretty bad. So that's why I lowballed it to $2,000. So as you see, I took off $2,000 for the resale value rather than like the 3,000 or 3,800 for the high mark. And 7,000. I mean, all these numbers are very reasonable numbers, and actually, I kind of I went a little bit aggressive with everything. So at the end of the day, it's not even 25 cents per mile. Most likely, it's probably closer to the 20 cents per mile here that we could calculate. So one other thing that you have to remember is that if you buy a car new, you're gonna get more than 18 months out of the car. So the thing is that you're going to basically do 200,000 miles divided by 6,000 a month equals 33 months compared to the 18 months. So you're going to have that car for 33 months compared to 18 months. But the difference is that you're going to be paying $20,000, $22,000 for the car compared to, like $8,000, $9,000 for the Prius that's used. Now the fuel costs for, let's say, a Honda Civic, a 2018 Honda Civic, we can average it to about 35 miles per gallon. It's going to be an extra $100, $150 per month on top of whatever the Prius costs are in terms of gas. So it's not like it's going to affect you massively, but if you're trying to maximize your profits, these are the two key things that you want to remember. Financing a car that has already been depreciated, and you want a hybrid. Okay, if you get those two things, then that's going to be more money in your pocket. And you can take your car and you can calculate whatever it cost you to buy the car minus what it's going to cost to sell the car using the Kelley Blue Book value website. Do your own fuel costs, do your own insurance costs, follow my calculations down here, okay? And you'll be able to get how much you spend per mile or how much you spend per month, and then just calculate that based off how many miles you drive. The math is right here, guys. It's all right here. You can do it yourself. Again, this is the Transparent Uber. If you found my information helpful and you like the content, please do subscribe. Leave a comment in the video as well, and I'll try to get back to you. And use my sign-up code. It's going to help me out if you feel like I am the one who got you into driving for Uber to help you make more money in your life. The money is good money. You can make $1,500 a month extra very easily driving on the weekends. I recommend it to everybody. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll pick you up next time.